Hello and welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Messi Babajide. The news headlines. Over 1,000 kidnapped victims rescued so far without ransom, says federal government. In business, vandalism worsens grid collapse as gas shortage slashes power supply. On the foreign scene, Israeli military vows response to Iran attack as calls for restraint mount. And in sports, Cole Palmer scores 4 as Chelsea scores a 6-0 win over Everton. Glad to have you back. Now the news in details. The National Security Advisor, Naira, on Monday said the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led federal government has said so far rescued over 1,000 kidnapped victims without paying a ransom. Ribadu said this when he received 22 students and staff of Federal University of Gusau, Zamfara State, rescued on Sunday. The bandits had on September 22, 2023 invaded the institution and abducted over 30 students and members of staff. The Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Mani Mumuni, who was at the university to sympathize with the families and the school authorities over the incident, called on security agencies to hasten the rescue of the kidnapped students. Now, in a press statement, the spokesperson for the Zamfara State Police Command, Yazid Abubakar, assured that the command would ensure the rescue of all the kidnapped students as it had deployed an additional tactical team for search and rescue operations. Now, speaking while receiving the students in Abuja, the NSA appreciated the security operatives for rescuing the students without losing any one of them or paying any ransom. Now, following weekend's invasion of Oyo State government house by Yoruba Nation agitators, governors in the southwest geopolitical zone have made moves to subdue any insurrection in the name of agitation. The agitators had invaded the government house following the declaration made by Ms. Modukwe Abiola Onitiri, a wife of late Chief Moshood Abiola, the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. Ms. Onitiri, who is outside Nigeria, had in a viral video pronounced herself the president of a new sovereign state known as Yoruba Nation. Now, prominent Yoruba Nation agitators, Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, and Chief Banji Akintoye had the stone her while calling for her arrest. The Oyo State government has described the attempt of some Yoruba Nation activists to take over the state secretariat as a treasonable felony. The State Commissioner for Information, Prince Dotun Yelade, stated that investigation is still ongoing while affirming that there were no death casualties during the gun exchange with agitators. In a related development, the State Police Command paraded 21 suspected Yoruba Nation agitators while a joint security force clamped down on the group's hideout at Sanyo. The Operation Safe Haven, a special military task force maintaining peace in Plateau State and its environs, has dismissed the allegation that its soldiers shot innocent civilians in the recent attacks in the Bokos local government area of Plateau State. The media officer of the operation, Major Samson Zakom, denied the allegation in a statement on Monday in Jos. According to the report, the coalition of Boko's ethnic youth nationalities had alleged that soldiers shot civilians and compounded the vulnerability of residents of the locality. The group, who called for the removal of the commander of OPS-8 Step-Up Headquarters 2 in Bokos, said the security agencies failed to quell the recent killings in some communities of the council. However, the media officer described the allegation as unfounded, adding that it was aimed at tarnishing the image of the military and other security agencies in the state. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Nigeria witnessed its sixth power grid collapse of 2024 on Monday, as electricity generation and the system collapsed from 2,583.77 megawatts at 2 a.m. to 64.7 megawatts around 3 a.m. before the grid was restored later in the day. Although the Transmission Company of Nigeria attributed the cause of Monday's grid collapse to a fire incident, it had consistently blamed the gas shortage for power generation and the vandalism of power power infrastructure for the recurrent cases of grid collapse in Nigeria. Nigeria generates an average of 4,000 megawatts of electricity for an estimated 200 million citizens across the country. But this is hardly sustainable as the grid continues to record in-season collapse due to gas supply constraints, transmission infrastructure vandalism, and liquidity crises, among others. The Naira has continued the resurgence against the United States dollar, appreciating at 1,136 Naira per dollar at the official market and 1,050 Naira per dollar at the parallel market at the close of trading activities on Monday. Now, this was as traders predicted the dollars fall to below 1,000 Naira before the end of the week. At the official foreign exchange market, data from the FMDQ exchange, a platform that oversees the Nigerian autonomous foreign exchange market, revealed that the Naira soared by 6.1% or 69 Naira from the 1,205 Naira per dollar recorded on Friday to 1,136 Naira per dollar on Monday. The total daily turnover dropped slightly to $251.60 million on Monday from $281.34 million recorded on Friday. The intraday high also improved significantly, closing at 1,227 Naira per dollar from 1,265 Naira per dollar quoted on Friday. The intraday low appreciated by 100 Naira per dollar as the dollar was quoted on the spot at 1,000 Naira on Monday, stronger than the 1,100 Naira quoted on Friday. The improved rate followed a string of foreign exchange directives by the Central Bank of Nigeria aimed at stabilizing the Naira. Still in business, the federal government has eventually complied with the demands of domestic crude oil refiners and other operators in the sector as it declared on Monday that the indigenous refineries can now buy crude oil in Naira or dollars. It also declared that the total crude oil and condensate reserves in Nigeria increased to 37.5 billion barrels as of January 4, 2024, with a live index of 68.01 years. The government disclosed this through the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission at a briefing in Abuja, where it unveiled the new template for domestic crude oil supply obligation. It stated that in compliance with the provisions of Section 109, subsection 2 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, the NUPRC, in a landmark move, had developed a template guiding the activities for domestic crude oil supply obligation. Now responding to a question on the currency of the transaction for crude oil purchase as approved in the new template, Komolafe stated that it would be either in Naira or dollar, adding the Naira transactions would free the pressure on the country's foreign exchange rate. Up next are stories on the foreign scene. After this short break, to stay with us.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. Now to foreign stories. Israelis awaited word on how Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would respond to Iran's first ever direct attack as international pressure for restraint grew amid fears of an escalation of the conflict in the Middle East. Netanyahu on Monday summoned his war cabinet for the second time in less than 24 hours to weigh a response to Iran's weekend missile and drone attack. Military Chief of Staff Herzi Alezi said the launch of so many missiles, cruise missiles and drones into Israeli territory will be met with a response. It disclosed this at the Nevatim air base in southern Israel, which sustained some damage in Saturday night's attack. Iran launched the attack in retaliation for what it says was an April 1st Israeli airstrike on its embassy compound in Damascus and signaled that it does not seek further escalation. While the attack caused no deaths and limited damage, it has increased fears of open warfare between the longtime foes and fueled concerns that violence rooted in the Gaza war is spreading. In entertainment, Tems had dropped the trailer for her upcoming album, Born in the Wild, which will be released in May 2024. On Monday, April 15, 2024, the Afrobeat singer, fresh off a performance at Coachella, dropped the 1-minute video which features young children playing in the park, indicating that the album could explore a journey from childhood to womanhood. The video is heavily laced with nostalgia and follows young Thames growing up in the suburbs of Lagos and a tiny home with her mother in the kitchen. In the video, she also samples a track Born in the Wild, which could be the marquee song of the album. On Sunday, during a performance of Essence, which she delivered with superstars Justin Bieber and Wizkid, she also performed an unreleased track from the Born in the Wild album. In sports, Cole Palmer scored 4 goals to put Chelsea within touching distance of the Premier League's top 6 after a 6-0 win over Everton on Monday. Now, the England international has been a shining light in an otherwise disappointing campaign for the Blues and moved level with the Manchester City striker Erling Haaland's 20 Premier League goals in the race for the Golden Boots. Now, Palmer killed the game as a contest as he completed his hat-trick inside 30 minutes before Nicholas Jackson also struck before halftime. However, the night was not without drama for Chelsea as Palmer had to fend off teammates Jackson and Noni Madueke to score his 4th from the penalty spot. Despite an 8-game unbeaten Premier League run, Chelsea remain in 9th but are now just 3 points adrift of 6th place Newcastle with a game in hand to come. And they will head into Saturday's FA Cup semi-final against City, confident they can end the oldest quest for a 2nd consecutive treble. And just before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Over 1,000 kidnapped victims rescued so far without ransom, says federal government. In business, vandalism worsens grid collapse as gas shortage slashes power supply. On the foreign scene, Israeli military vows response to Iran attack as calls for restraint mount. And in sports, Cole Palmer scores 4 as Chelsea scores a 6-0 win over Everton. And that's all on the package in our bulletin. Kindly follow us on all our social media pages at Oweleketv and visit our website at www.oweleketv. I am Messi Babajide. Many thanks for watching.